At the onset of this conflict, Western analysts and military planners operated on a straightforward assumption. Facing a technologically superior coalition, Iran's defenses would crumble within weeks. By day 20, U.S. and Israeli leadership were already signaling a swift and decisive victory. The official narrative from figures like Benjamin Netanyahu was categorical. They claimed the initial bombing campaigns had successfully decimated Iran's military infrastructure, neutralizing its naval fleets, military grounding its air force, and destroying its missile stockpiles. Today marks day 50 of the conflict, and that promised conclusion has failed to materialize. Instead of a rapid capitulation, the situation has devolved into a grueling stalemate. On national television, Iranian Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf outlined a different reality. He stated that rather than relying on external supply chains, Iran utilized its own indigenous weapons and custom war designs to repel an adversary with far greater financial resources. Sources even claiming the successful downing of American aircraft. A nation operating under decades of severe economic sanctions has managed to absorb the full impact of the world's most advanced militaries. They accomplish this through a highly structured three-tiered strategy of asymmetric warfare. The very first tier is hardware preservation. Logically, 50 days of continuous high-tech aerial bombardment should severely deplete any targeted nation's physical arsenal. But recent U.S. intelligence assessments have revealed a physical reality on the ground that completely defies those early claims of total destruction. This chart shows the scale of the miscalculation. While planners expected a near-total wipeout, the data indicates that Iran has successfully retained roughly 70% of its pre-war ballistic missile stockpile. The assessment also notes that 60% of their heavy missile launchers are still intact and fully operational. Finally, the report confirms that 40% of their offensive drone fleet remains available for deployment. These numbers represent rows of heavy munitions sitting vertically on mobile launchers, ready to fire at a moment's notice. Maintaining this volume of equipment allows them to sustain operations indefinitely, providing the material foundation to project physical power across the region long after the initial strikes were meant to end the fighting. The second tier moves away from the physical battlefield. It relies on internal subversion, attacking an adversary's domestic stability from within. This takes the form of aggressive counterintelligence. Israel recently arrested two of its own Air Force pilots, accusing them of spying for Iran. Simultaneously, the Iranian internal security forces swept up 59 individuals suspected of operating on behalf of foreign intelligence. Infiltrating the highest levels of an adversary's military apparatus breeds deep paranoia. It breaks down public trust, fracturing the political consensus required to sustain a massive war effort. You can see the tangible fallout of this pressure on the streets. In Haifa, massive nighttime protests have erupted against their own leadership, citing soaring inflation and a lack of basic security as Iranian munitions breach their airspace. By weaponizing economic pain and the fear of internal betrayal, Iran forces its adversaries to fight a taxing two-front war designed to drain their political endurance. The third tier shifts the pressure from local battlefields to the global economy by leveraging a specific maritime chokepoint. This map isolates the Strait of Hormuz, an exceptionally narrow waterway that serves as the primary artery for global energy. Trademark publications like The Atlantic have categorized Iran's control over this waterway as their ultimate doomsday weapon. They are actively asserting this control. When a U.S. naval vessel deployed to clear sea mines in the area, the Iranian Navy issued direct warnings.